Hello and welcome to another dramatic reading by me, Anzani84. Today we're continuing with Super Sentai versus Super Sentai. Now that they've actually updated they've actually got the web archive back up. Chapter 13, Gymnastics versus Jayu. Including that, as I've mentioned recently on other platforms, the fact that Goggle 5 is gymnastics themed is the one thing people who haven't seen the show remembers about it. It pretty much tells you how much research the author actually did to this chapter. Author's note: this entry is dedicated to the fact that Kimberly left the MMPR team for a reason of pursuing gymnastics, allowing Catherine to step in to take her place. Okay, that's a bit of a weird thing to put in here. She was supposedly for a bout of either J arc, which I think was meant to say it was supposed to happen back then, where Diane March was played by Maria Nagasa, but I found it in Goggle 5 instead. That means you decided to include it in the Goggle 5 chapter. Catherine Sutherland replaced Amy Jo Johnson due to the latter's decision to pursue further careers, which made me very sad, leading to the stupid Dear John letter episode in Zio. Wow, the author really has a hard time keeping his opinions out of this story. I know he's a blogger, but there's a difference between writing a story and writing a blog. At the new Skybase in the Sentai year 2011, the Super Sentai and the Power Rangers were starting to get to know each other. They've been bunking up for weeks, but this is the first time they actually got to know each other. Meanwhile, Buck and Skull are fascinated with working with Professor Makino. Hey Skull, this guy Professor Makino is really better than Professor Phenomenus. Yo, we get to see a lot of dangerous stuff, said Bulk. What kind of dangerous stuff is Makino exposing them to, especially since he works in a lab? He's not an action person. And their job with Professor Phenomenus was more dangerous. Which means that in a way Makino is better if he's not constantly sending them to their deaths. He's not as wacky, but more efficient, said Skull. Wacky is not a word I would use to describe Makino. Oh, I can't pick up at last time. Really went the Inca pyramid and nearly got smashed. What do you mean, smashed as in they got laid, or smashed as in almost got killed? Because if it's the latter, then I wouldn't be happy about it. Scores. How cool was bad? I mean, both Bokenda guys are really cool too. We never get to see Visma Jackson back from where we came from. So we're just forgetting about all the times they got caught in monster attacks then. I see how it is. They were shipping some valuables to a museum down there. They were to send down to the museum. How else are they supposed to pay us to deliver them if not by going down to the museum? The kindest ship is filled with repairs. They said I had to help a new Stargate get the money they need to buy stuff on Earth. Why do we need to gather money? Aren't they government funded? Or at least funded by Cowie's family? I mean, how are they really funding all this? There's Nakino found into resistance. Well, once we're done, we're going to view more of the SPD's findings of aliens. What findings? That's cool, sir, said Bo. By the way, I just want to eat some of Kenna's curry as soon as we're done. And, okay, again with this. Kenta made curry in one episode. The rest of the time, his speciality was sushi. You can. Well, you boys have made me proud. I do worry about we could be having some loopholes in security, said Professor Makino. I don't really know what he means by that. On the other hand, Tommy was still determined to actually bring back one important part of his past, Kimberly. He, realizing she had never met anyone, had made him see what was going on. She didn't want to be in his way of his ranger duties. Okay, one had to be in the way, and two, no duh, that was pretty much why she had a boyfriend, why she dumped him in addition to the brother man. He had realised that many of the older Super Sentai warriors can't be easily found. Why? Surely their address would be in the phone book at least. I wonder where Bomber is already. Probably shaking his head at how mischaracterized everyone is. We have Sentai warriors at this time. I like to meet as much as possible, even though I have to meet them in their old age. What's wrong with meeting them in their old age? The oldest of them is like at least 60. That's not that old. Kimberly, I really missed you a point me and Catherine broke up, said Tommy. So they broke up because he was pining for his old girlfriend? No wonder the relationship failed. Oh, and I'm guessing Kat was the one who did it. Meanwhile, the new heroes have been chosen ahead. Ahead of what? Noah, Satoru, Gunpei, Rocky, Tsubasa, and Kimberly. Once for all, we're picking them based off colours and gender rather than actual similarities with the goggle. He's all specialist skills. Billy and Randall seem playing the new breakfast with them all with the help of Genta. What breakfast do these guys need? Itadakimasu, said Genta. Behold, the scientifically prepared cuisine of Billy-sama! Here's our scientifically formulated breakfast for you all, said Billy. By the way, Ranu give Ranu the credit for the idea and Genta for cooking. Oh, Billy, you're just being too modest, said Ranu. I have to admit, Ranu is bad. The operators do speak well of you, and so do Mariko or Jasmine, as you call her, and Umiko especially during that inspired Devorian. Okay, why the hell would Billy he refer to Jasmine as her real name before going to her nickname? And even two, how the hell is Jasmine familiar enough with her for that at recommendation? By the way, I do hope we can find a way to free Mikoto from his mind control soon, said Billy. Oh sure. Oh yeah, I forgot. It's time for Cole's training for him to learn to bond with Akared, said Ranu. So what's he been doing so far if not being bonded to Akared? His powers are pretty unstable as of right now. We did create specially formulated food for him. He does easily get hungry after he transforms to Red Conker while his body burns all that fat, crafting his really firm abs. What? And once again, I have to ask if Bjorfa has even seen Eric Medina in real life, because shredded that guy is not. Hot. It's as if his body is zero fat. As many have pointed out, it's not physically impossible, but in real life, doctors say that Andres Munzi's death was most likely caused by his complete lack of body fat. So it's not really the glowing recommendation the author thinks it is. So thanks for reminding me, Ranu, said Billy. Cole gets hungry too fast, said Genta. Right, but can't blame him. Handling a power of 34 red range of Akared is hard work. Gotta go now. Genta skipped. What? Hastily to the kitchen to prepare Cole's meals. The two walked away. Which two? There's way more than two people. Station. Tommy thought, well, I don't know what's going on those two. Oh, that Cole is really something. Christ, why don't you just marry Cole instead of Kimberly or Kat? As for your defeating Serpentera so easily maybe prove he's no ordinary human. He beat him with the aid of a magic bike. It was not some act of brute strength like the author seemed to think it was. And how his body easily burns all that fat. Well, this is going to be pretty exciting, said Rocky. I have to admit, first I was a stranded guy, now I'm fighting by your side, Satoru. I did have fun talking to Adam, said Satoru. The guy's somewhat a psychic, knows some of the events of his universe. How is he a psychic if he saw it on DVD? Did he admit that part of the ludicrousy? I wonder how did the idea of Power Rangers Treasure Force come from? You see, Korea had been dubbing Power Rangers before they decided to switch to dubbing Super Sentai and kept the name on for familiarity. Then he told me about the boring Operation Overdrive team. Okay, you pissed me off now. How? Especially, I would not call that series boring. Mystic Force I call boring a heartbeat. Uga, more definitely. Gav, Kamen Rider Gav, maybe. But I would not call Operation Overdrive a boring series, at all. It's got more freaking plot development than most series have in the first 10 episodes. In the whole show, in the first 5 or 6 episodes. What I'm concerned might be the next move of United Alliance of Evil, said Gumby. I wonder if some people in Gaiark are part of it too, or will soon join them. Having read ahead, no, unfortunately. I wonder what evil plots the Alliance of Evil have now, said Kimberly. We gotta check it out. Thomas even said, apparently they're introducing new technology into the past. If this continues, Renegade can start to alter the timeline. Start? I mean, the thread range as in the present recognizing you from the past would seem to indicate time has already been altered. Feeling through his troops, I could feel he intimidated his followers more than Dark Spectre did the previous incarnation. That is fair, since Dark Spectre never really intimidated anyone physically. Could be wrong, but why do I somehow see a possibility he could desire one of our women to be his new queen and replace the astronomer? Now how did he make that leap in logic? If I'm who he wants, forget it. There's no way I'd like to be his bride. It's an awful thought, said Kimberly, shrugging in disbelief. You got to be ready for the worst, said Satoru, and his mind was seeing cause a nuisance to getting Sakura. So now he notices her. And now it's someone else is lusting after her. He wasn't so open to her and all. That's your problem. You need to actually confess rather than just wait for her to marry. Who? Remember the time when Lord Zed... Wait, why are we going back to Kimberly's POV? Yeah, according to Satoru. When Lord Zed once desired her, but unfortunately the obsession didn't linger. On the other hand, it did lead to one of the funniest scenes in the entirety of Power Rangers. As of a performance hammier than Shatner. Radagay, well, it could linger for all he cares. Satoru then dropped by and said, well, Satoru. He wouldn't call him Satoru, he'd call him Red or Chief. I hope you do well with your mission. If you need us, Ollie, we can drop by too. I really forgot, I got to help Marika Raymond finish the reports. Why is everyone referring to Jasmine by her given name today? This is so we all can claim to be an expert in Super Sentai knowledge. Because it isn't working, let me tell you that. At the United Alliance of Evil headquarters, Radagay is preparing another diabolical scheme. There's nothing diabolical about any of his schemes. Looks like we're going to need better plans to defeat the United Super Sentai and Power Rangers Alliance. What? That was worded as a question for some reason. Any bright ideas? To be honest, all the ideas are failing me and I am not getting much fresh blood, said Radagay, grumbling. Well, sir, I suppose we might as well send View-On with Gaja, Yaiba and Shizuka, said Tranza. Answer? Okay, and now I'm forced by logic to cue this video of music. Sight and bad, what's next, Tranza? You're not even doing any better either, said Radagay. Well, look who's talking, said Tranza. As said, only if I call the shot, we'd win. To be either, only if I call the shots would we win, or if only I call the shots. First in Cage Room, his body full of soot and clean the rivals of the United Alliance of Evil. He put Egg Variegates into a mission. Oh sir, what about sending me? I can prove to you I'm better than View-On, said Flores. I will be silent, said Garda, putting aside carefully. I'll show you all. I can climb my ranks here, said Flores. I'm moving here, buddy. What about this, sire? Since Death Star creates monsters from animal genes, I set it time to insert some strange DNA into their creation, said View-On. I suggest my blood can do it. Very well then. Maybe monster collaboration to be the next strategy towards our time-related schemes, said Radagay. God is still upset about being made one step lower than View-On, as Radagay favoured View-On more than him. Okay, I'm guessing what people say about Radagay being an awful avatar may be more true than I thought. I hate View-On, I'd rather be made in prison instead of joining his fool's alliance, said Gudge angrily. Despite this, he still doesn't leave, okay? As the Sentai year 1982, a pretty blonde-haired one from Power Rangers year 2005 also managed to drop by. So what has gone wrong with Tommy's era? I don't know. Maybe a number of people disappearing from history. Oh, this ain't good, said Catherine. Way to create a surprise offer. Oh crud, my speech patterns are changing. I can read Japanese. This is so crazy. So she can only read Japanese but not speak it. That means I'm not doing the gag, sorry. She's right now just in London. Well, obviously not, considering what's about to happen. Although she and Tommy were over, they did maintain their friendship. She's hoping Tommy might find his true love once more if need be. She was in the city hoping to find some help. She's suddenly so lucky, run. What? Across Satu and his team who are taking a car from Sargis. Satu is riding a motorcycle. So Satu isn't taking the car, his team is. And also, wasn't Kat just in London right now? Now, consistency, what is that? Okay, that's my place. Kat, said Kimberly. Kimberly, said Catherine. So you also landed in this new world too, asked Kimberly. Yes, said Catherine. I was in London, back where we came from. I had my role as a script writer. Well, I'll be frank. Kat's career of interest changed more often than Tommy's did. I think the most consistency she had was as a ballerina, and even then, that didn't last. Get acknowledged in her return appearances after Turbo, where she'd become a housewife. We may struggle with fear and anxiety, I've been free as a bird. What about you? I actually kind of never met anyone. I threw Tommy away because I felt like I was getting on the way to be in the way. Thanks, said Kimberly. Can't be denied, but I'm also having a lot of suitors lately, said Catherine. So if you're all for acknowledging that Catherine Sutherland is even hotter than Amy Jo Johnson, because he seems to have a pretty big crush on the latter, and there's no real indication that Kimberly's getting any attention from someone not named Tommy right now. Ow. I thought... Okay, I missed a bit. That was kind of cruel, said Catherine. This is after Kimberly said she threw Tommy away, and I have to agree. I told him everything though. I find it weird now I'm on the same boat. I should be in the same boat. Both his former loves. I hope he doesn't cross the boards and want us both, said Kimberly. Can't be denied, I'm also having a lot of suitors lately, said Catherine. Rocky also ran to hug her. He remembered their times from MMPR to Zio. Cat, how are you? Long time no see, said Rocky. I'm doing well. Looks like a legacy war is about to be fought after all, as I saw in my dream. Okay, why establish midway through the scene that Cat's also been having the weird prophetic dreams? Best see if it's not going to add anything. I've never seen so many Power Rangers gathered together in one place. They're none of our world, and a giant brain-looking spaceship. This goes nowhere. That dream is a nightmare, said Catherine. I did read your play, it was so good, said Rocky. So the play's being performed or just released as script books. And Kimberly's music, they're so great. I'm a fan of her. In fact, I'm using her songs in my plays, said Catherine. So is that plagiarism or... Oh, they're my new friends here. This is Satoru, Gunpei, and Tsubasa, said Kimberly. Bible, just have to take you to the Search Guard time train. Search Guard time train? Asked Catherine. Meanwhile, the Goggle 5 team are patrolling the city for any signs of Death Dark. That's also generally not how Goggle 5 works. Literally no Sentai ever goes out and patrols for villains. They just wait for them to attack. We see Kenichi, Kanpei, Sabo, Futoshi. I'd like to point out that at Goggle 5's males were generally referred to by their surnames, not their given names. These guys are Akama, Kuroda, Aoyama, and Kiyama. And Miki, she got the first name treatment, so I'm not going to criticize that. Touring the area. Fortunately, they ran into the United Lines of Evil. These are the Goggle 5, said Vuon. We might as well crush them when we have the chance. Okay, what happened to the plan? Or are you just giving that up now? Whoa, said Kenichi, looking at him. Death Dark outdid themselves this time. Telekinetic Crush Force, said Gaji, began to burst aside. Goggle 5 team immediately transformed their team colours and did their roll call. Goggle, Goggle Red, Goggle Black, Goggle Blue, Goggle Yellow, Goggle Pink, Dai Sentai, Goggle 5. The last part is Fight Dai Sentai Goggle 5. Carson Darius began to show up left and right. Porty, Sato and his team arrived to help the Goggle 5. Seated right there, Vuon, said Sato. Should be stop right there, Vuon. We're gonna stop you, said Kimberly. What? Our chances to win are ruined. I hate you guys, said Vuon. Vuon, so you never mend your ways, do you, said Vuon. I wonder what you were doing while you were turned back to a human. I mean it once because his last brains are broken, so that while Vuon did turn back into human, it was also very strongly indicated that he died shortly afterwards, so I'd say he's been doing nothing. But to refer to this fake, Vuon's about to answer that. I was living my life as a pickpocket thanks to you, but now I am back for vengeance, said Vuon. Okay, but how did he regain his form as Bajaru King? I don't think that's going to be explained. Hey, Satu, call for a roll call. Now here's some Hughes to transform to Boken Red, Go on Black, Zero Ranger 3, Magi Yellow, and Pink Ranger 1. The Fiery Adventurer, Boken Red, Dash Dynamic, Go on Black, Zero Ranger 3, the Galloping Thunder Element, the Yellow Magician, Magic Thunder, Pink Ranger. New Power Rangers, said Catherine? Not exactly, said Boken Red. Fight occurred, but Goggle 5 gaining edge. Boken Red released the Drill Crusher to firing a iris shot, enabling their retreat. We'll get them somehow, said Vuon, who knows they're gone. Meanwhile, we've got to focus on the Death Dark Alliance. Goggle 5 team introduced themselves, and so did Sato, who's teaming the episode, together with Catherine. So what's really going on, asked Kenichi. Long story related to Sato. As you know, these guys are not from Death Dark, from United Alliance of Evil. How do they know that? You literally just told them. They seek to destroy every last Super Sentai force back in their time periods. What do you mean time period? Or did Renegade pull them from time? Heavy, said Kampe. So you're really from the future, are you? Rihan, Kimberly is pretty entertained to hear about Mickey being a gymnast. A conversation we will not get to hear, unfortunately. At the Death Dark headquarters, it seems we are having powerful components, said Fura Tabu. Indeed, master, said Death Mark. And giving him a really old sounding voice, because the actor playing him was an old man and looked it, no matter how much they tried to make Death Mark look intimidating. Sire, allow me to go in search of these guys, said Death Killer. All of a sudden, Ryuon, Gaja, Yaib and Shizuka entered. Wow, that was quick. What the? Said Mazurka. It seems we have some unwelcome guests after all, said Death Mark. We are the United Alliance of Evil, said Ryuon, introducing himself. I am Ryuon Majaru King. He is Gaza, the High Priest of Gordon, and the next two are Yaiba and Shizuka. Shizuka, we are here to help you defeat the Goggle 5. So what's your proposal? Said Deathmark. We're here to lend you my very own DNA, said Ryuon. What? Said Deathmark. Is he going to let any members of other members of Death Dark get more than one line of dialogue? It could be your key to victory, said Gaja. There's no harm in trying, said Mazurka. Very well then, we accept the proposal. Ryuon began to bleed himself, leaking his own blood into a test tube. His wound then accelerated in his healing. Madara Man assigned to do so began to pour Ryuon's blood right into a monster-making machine. A dragon-like creature appeared. Behold, Jaryu Mozu! Said Jaryu Mozu. And I'd like to imagine he looks exactly like Demby from Bokenja episode 37, because that guy looked goofy enough to be a show monster. Okay, time to find my place. At this point on, this monster will be serving Death Dark, said Ryuon, with an implication he wouldn't. And we'll be helping you get through the Goggle 5 and their new allies. It's now our time to test his abilities, said Death Killer. You might as well test his combat abilities on field. Jari Murzo was sent on the field, to the field, to test his combat abilities. Now it's time to test his abilities, said Death Killer. Redundancy much? Jaryu Mozu began spewing up huge balls of fire. I am a god of hellfire, and I bring you fire. I need you to learn. Fire. I need you to burn. Goggle 5 team immediately responded into, immediately responded to the threat. The battlefield with Boken Red, Gone Black, Z Ranger 3, Magic Yellow and Pink Ranger 1. It's a new monster, said Goggle Red. Surprised, Goggle 5, said Death Killer. Now, Jaryu Mozu, show us your abilities against them. Jaryu Mozu started throwing hot molten rocks to hard to dodge. Hard, said Pink Ranger 1. Pink Ranger 1 tried to shoot that arrow at Jaryu Mozu, only to discover he was fast enough to scorch the arrows. He's too fast, said Pink Ranger 1. Goggle 5 team were being hit by the meteors. They tried the Goggle Victory Flash, but it failed. At last, we got a monster immune to the big Goggle Victory Flash, said Death Killer. We didn't need to do anything else, so we're getting this predates the Goggle Golden Spear. Oh, this is great, very great, said Mazurka. Let's try the Drill Crusher, said Broken Red. The actual tech device from the Drill Crusher finally appeared with his team doing the formation, but still it failed. It was revealed that Jaryu Mozu was powered by the Gordom Engine 2. Somehow. I also like to point out the weapon is the Dual Crusher, not the Drill Crusher. What the? Gordom Engine? Said Ed Bokemed. This monster too powerful. I think we've got to retreat, said Goggle Blue. We're no match for him. I can't agree more than that, said Ed Goggle Red. Well, retreat? I got the fast solution, said Bokemed. But it's not going to be always used. What do you mean by that? But first distraction, said Mad Yellow, who asked his lightning to clash on mirrors. Okay, 1, 2, 3, said Broken Red. Says got time to appear and teleport them out of quick distance. Something that'd be at a quick I teleport them out quickly. Those cowards will be back, said Death Killer. Hee. Looks like it's time to commence stage 2, said V1. What would that be now? Said Tsuka. Did they not discuss the plan beforehand? How to be to get Mount Fuji to erupt with Mozu, said Briber. We agreed to help Pure and Taboo do it. Off screen. I agree with you, but it does require some time, said V1. Fortunately, our monster is quite exhausted. I need more rest, said Mozu. He needs to rest now, said Tsuka. Not we can't believe the plan to let Mount Fuji erupt. Retreat then, said Death Killer. Don't you mean withdraw, since, you know, you're not on the losing end of a fight? It's not a retreat in that regard. Nimara, Goggle 5 team and Satu's team think of a solution towards a problem. If only Goggle 5 had access to a team of young children who'd solve a problem for them. I think we should try to get it cooled down first while we attack by angry fire-breathing dragons, said Satoru. But how do we do that? Asked Catherine. Thinking and sending to a future that, said Kimberly. Or we could ask Vanu and Billy to do some analytical steps. Well, the enemy is about fire, said Rocky. Nothing about Rajari is strictly associated with fire. They're based off dragons, but that's as far as it goes. Guess I think of cooling it off. So I was thinking about it, but we should try to cool the enemy down. That is the same statement repeated twice in different wording. Billy usually had some techniques. Vanu has hers too. How would you know that? On the other hand, I've noticed that the monster seems to have potential to overheat too, said Satoru. Probably because every monster the USS, the UNUAOE seems to have. Nuai? Said Satoru. We got to figure it out, said Kimberly. Where do we also get much cold? What does that even mean? At the Death Dark Fortress, the force of evil are now ready for their next move. So it looks like a monster isn't so perfect after all, said Pure Taboo. On the other hand, when can we begin to erupt Mount Fuji? I can't wait for it to erupt, surely. Nothing's perfect, said Beyond. Our plan will soon be in action, but Jaru Mozu needs some energy to be powered up from. He just needs rest, said Gaja. The Gordar engine inside him may not be so ready to adopt the Death Dark's technology. So that's to be adapt. Will Death Dark succeed in blowing up Japan? And will Saturn's team succeed in finding a way to outsmart the monster? We don't really need to outsmart it, just defeat it. Find out the exciting conclusion next chapter. So that chapter was short, but it was by no means sweet. It seemed like nothing happened but set up for the next chapter, which probably had all of its material was being stuff that could be covered here. Sure, it resulted in a long chapter, but a pretty sure a long chapter where something happens is better than a short, hot chapter where nothing happens. Anyway, join me next time when if I'm not doing the remastered of chapter 2, I'll be looking at chapter 14, Death Dark Gets Cold.